I look a little rough. Anyway, folks, I just spent the night at a boondocking site in Oklahoma, in McAlester, Oklahoma. Had a great sleep in the van. When I woke up, I looked around and the place was just filled with trash. Yeah, it's terrible how people do this to our free campsites. This is why there's so few free campsites anymore. After making it to Texas, I slowed things down a lot. I spent 3 or 4 days visiting Eagle Hill Park outside Fort Worth, a cute little railroad museum in Denison, Chalk Hill Falls just north of Austin, and even spent time with some friends in Austin itself. But there was one thing that I'd been wanting to see since I was a little kid: the Alamo. Good morning, fellow travelers. I am in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, about to explore the Alamo today. Everything I know about this place, I learned from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. I know it has no basement, but I am determined to see it with my own eyes once and for all. It's right in the center of town. Most of the history of the Alamo is right here in this central plaza. Apparently this was originally a Spanish mission erected in 1724 and served as a Spanish mission for about 72 years, I think it said, until it became populated by Mexican soldiers. It changed hands several times between Mexican soldiers and Texas Anglo rebels, but the battle we all know about involved about over 1,000 Mexican soldiers, defended by about 189 American rebels, held onto the fort for several days. They did eventually lose it, but they were all killed. They bombarded this fort with everything they had. It's kind of amazing that they were able to hold out against a 10-to-1 force like that. There are several of these diagrams which show the evolution of its development. This is more or less modern right here, and now it's right in the center of busy, dense San Antonio, Texas. The Battle of the Alamo is as complicated as the history of Texas. Basically, Mexico finally won independence from Europe in 1821 and was in a fever to stake claim to Spain's old land. Texas, meanwhile, had become populated by American pioneersmen looking for freedom from basically any government whatsoever. These American rebels rallied behind the idea of Spain's Tejas province as a sovereign state, and the Mexicans saw this as an existential threat. The two young nations fought it out here in San Antonio with brutality. The Mexican army won the battle, but lost the war. That's the Alamo Church behind me. The walls of that are 4-foot thick limestone. It's easy to understand why it was the last holdout of the Texas rebels.
We don't know how many people were in the Alamo. This is a very poorly reported battle. There may have been as many as 300, more than 200. However many it was, those 200 fresh corpses were stripped of anything valuable, including their clothing. On the other side of the mall was the Alameda, the main drag out of town. They were piled into 3 piles with fresh cut wood. Okay, Alamo trees, same as this one. And those 300 corpses were partially burned.
The inside of the Alamo is basically an empty church, and it's very hard to hear what the tour guide was saying. San Antonio's pretty cute. This is my first time here. I think I might actually spend the night here. It seems like there's a lot to see. And there's a Davy Crockett Hotel right over here. The Alamo is pretty cool, but I actually like the grounds around the building even more. It kind of reminds me of Faneuil Hall in Boston. Street performers, lots of shops, all closed off to traffic. There's even a wax museum. The Alamo was a lot of fun. San Antonio looks like a cool city. Got the sticker. Right now I'm heading south down to Starbase, Texas to see the SpaceX factory. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow.